Daf Yutches on the base. Today's Daf Yutes. We're going to start from Masav Rava.
Okay, so where exactly is Masav?
It's 12 lines from the bottom, approximately, depending on what Gemara you have. Mine it's not. In yours, I believe it's 12. All right, so we're discussing the case where a person ate a piece of chaylev. We're going to review a little bit of what we learned yesterday. A person ate a piece of chaylev, and he wasn't aware that it was chaylev. He's not even sure what it is. And then he had Yom Kippur come, and Yom Kippur went, and then he had another piece of chaylev, or even two pieces of chaylev on Yom Kippur itself. The Gemara yesterday discussed that Yom Kippur is considered a yediyah. It's considered an unawareness of a suffix yediyah. Masav Rava, ochal hayoim, ochal hamachar. A person ate a half a shear of milah. So we had the other day that when it comes to mi'ilah, benefiting from the Beis Hamikdash, so you could benefit a half a shear today and a half a shear in 10 years from now, and they are mitzdarif. That was the chumrah that we said the other day in mi'ilah. So here it is, mefurish, ochal hayoim, ochal hamachar. He ate a half a pruta today, a half a pruta tomorrow. So he ate a half apple today, half apple tomorrow. Nehen hayoim, nehen hamachar. Or he benefited from the heat, let's say, whatever benefit he had from the Beis Hamikdash, a half a pruta worth, and then the next day another half a pruta worth. Ochal hayoim, nehen hamachar. He ate a half apple today, and then he heated himself up the next day. It's also mitzdarif. It doesn't have to be the same type. As long as it's a half a pruta plus a half a pruta equals a pruta, he's chayiv. Nehen hayoim ochal hamachar. Va'afilu mikavat shalosh shonim. And even if there's a 3-year break in between the two half a prutas, menayishem mitzdarfin zemzet amaloymar timol mal ribo. V'amai hokipar alayom hakipurim. So if he ate a half a pruta over here in one, and half a pruta over here 3 years later, and then you have the green Yom Kippur come in the middle, Yom Kippur is a mechaper. If it's a mechaper, how are they mitzdarif? What I discussed was, if a person ate chaylev, and he had an isur, he had a half an awareness, and then comes Yom Kippur, it's mechaper. But Me'ilah, Yechayiv Kerim v'Chomesh. You owe another fifth to the Beis Hamikdash. That Yom Kippur can't be mechaper, like we know, right? Benod mechaveroi, mamanis, the certain things Yom Kippur doesn't work for. Similar to what we had the svara before. If a person is half tamei and he goes into a mikvah, the mikvah doesn't work. So similarly, maybe perhaps you could say the same type of svara. A person did a half an avera, a half a me'ilah, Yom Kippur is not mechaper. When you have a full avera, you did the whole thing, then Yom Kippur could get rid of it. It doesn't get rid of parts of averas, which is a little bit more of a chiddush to me, I guess. In averas versus tuma, okay. V'chein omar Rish Lakish, kan shona Rebbe. Okay, so now we're going back to the sugya that we learned yesterday. Now it's kedai, maybe, just to see the first few lines. If you go down 4 lines from the top, a person ate a suffix chaylev. So if he was aware that he had a suffix chaylev, what does he have to bring? A asham tali. So he has to bring one asham tali. And then he ate another one, so he has to bring another asham tali. Rabbi Omer, listen to this. Omer ani keshem shemevi chatos al kolachas v'achas kach mevi asham tali al kolachas v'achas. So Rabbi says, just like a chatos, the same halacha applies to korban asham tali, and you'd have to bring for each and every one. On that, the Gemara says, based on that, so in a case where a person ate a piece of chaylev, and then he had an awareness that it's a suffix. So on a suffix you bring asham tali.
Only on one piece?
Right now on one piece, he had a suffix, he doesn't know what to do, he brings one asham tali. Then he had another suffix, he brings another asham tali. So in other words, every time that he has an awareness of a suffix, that's enough for Asham Talui. Says the Gemara, based on that, a tremendous chap. If an awareness is enough to bring an Asham Talui, so then it's enough to bring a Chatas also. So, if at the end of the day he found out that he ate chaylev in all cases, then his awareness in the middle of his suffix that was enough to bring an Asham Talui could also cause him to flip that Asham Talui into Chatos. So he brings two Chatois. You chapping here?
Did he bring the Asham Talui yet or not?
He didn't bring the Asham Talui yet. Let's say brought Asham Talui. I don't know. I don't know if it makes a difference. I don't think it makes a difference. The point is not if he brought it or not, because he didn't have a kapara with the Asham Talui. If I find out that I ate chaylev a week later, so just because for sure, and just because I had a suffix yesterday, my suffix at that point I was able to bring Asham Talui for myself. But today that I know that I ate for sure chaylev, I have to bring a chatas for that chaylev. Now, but I didn't have an awareness. I only had an awareness, or true awareness, after I ate piece number 2. But since, the Gemara says unbelievable, but since it's a good enough awareness for me to bring Asham Talui, so I also could bring a Chatas, turn that awareness into a good enough awareness for a Chatas. That's one sheet, and not everybody else like that. But that's tremendous. Here, so let's see inside.
It's not suffocating.
By the way, going back to that kasha that I was stumped on, it's very simple. It's because the Rav understood yesterday that you only bring one chatos at the end of the day. According to Rava, if a person had an awareness after a suffix, and then he had a suffix awareness, and then he had another piece, and then he had a vadai awareness, according to Rava, you bring one chatos on both cases. Asks Abaya, then it doesn't match. Asham Talui always has to match a chatos. And if I bring one chatos on 2 pieces of meat, that doesn't match, because if it was 2 suffix, he would bring 2 Asham Taluis. So it's 1 against 2. And Asham Talui and Chatas always have to be the same. That was the question yesterday. My mistake was that I didn't realize that he brings a Chatas. Noam asked me, does he bring Asham Talui and a Chatas? And I said, yes. That's where the mistake was. It's not Asham Talui plus a Chatas. There's 1 Chatas instead of the Asham Talui and the Chatas. So the Gemara, so now we're going just back to that Machlokes. Like 6 lines from the bottom. Over here, you can learn in Rebbe that if I have an awareness at the end of the day that what I ate in step number 1 was a real chaylev, then I have to bring a chatas for that chaylev, even though the awareness was a suffix awareness. So it's kedai to remember this. Rabbi Yochanan says, you don't bring 2 chatois, you bring 1, and according to Rish Lakish, you do bring 2. So yidiyos suffix is mechalik. So what is Rebbe saying? Rish Lakish is learning Rebbe's words that we just read. What does that mean? A much simpler meaning, a basic meaning. Just like in a case where he ate 2 pieces of meat. And on each piece of meat he realized that it was a real piece of chaylev. How many chatois does he have to bring? 2. Just it's the same case. If he ate 2 pieces of meat, and in between each piece of meat he realized it's a suffix chaylev, so he has to bring 2 Asham Taluis. So he brings on each and every one Asham Taluis. So now, let's just follow the steps. If you look inside, if you look at the Bryce, it says Kishem shemevi chatos, kach mevi Asham. Yeah? You don't want to miss this step. Oh wait, okay. We have time.
One more second.
Okay. What's the lashon? What comes first? Just like chatos, so too asham. That's what Rebbe Yochanan explains. Just like chatos, I bring on each and every aveira, so too asham talui, every suffix aveira. So the wording is perfect. Just like chatos, so too asham. According to Rish Lakish, it's the exact opposite. Because Rish Lakish is saying, just like there's a suffix yidiyah is mechaper, is mechalek, just like in the case of Asham Talui. If I have an awareness in between the 2 actions, in between the 2 achilos, even if it's an awareness of a suffix, that's enough to be mechayev me Asham Talui. In Asham Talui, all I need is to know that I might have eaten chaylev, and then I bring Asham Talui. On step 1 and in step 2, I bring 2 karbanos. So too, by a chatos, if I realize all the way at the end that I ate chaylev, I'm chayiv 2 chatois. That the half of awareness is good enough. So what should the Gemara say? Keshem oshem talui kachatos. No. Keshem oshem talui. Where's Rish Lakish learning it from? From a case of oshem talui. In a case where I ate a suffix, I have to bring oshem talui. So too, in the other case of a chatos vadai, I have to bring 2. It starts from oshem talui and it goes to chatos. I'm learning the concept that a half a yediyah, a suffix yediyah is enough to be a yediyah. Where do I know this concept of suffix yediyah? The only place in the world that there's a suffix yediyah is by oshem talui. Again, just real quickly, what is the case? This unbelievable case. A guy ate a piece of chaylev, and he found out, his wife told him that it might be chaylev. He doesn't know. 50-50. Okay? He went to sleep, woke up in the morning, ate another piece of chaylev, something. And then he found out that both of them are chaylev. That is the shayla. How many korbanis chatas does he bring? Does he bring a korban chatas on the first case also? Because on the first case he only had a half of awareness. His wife told him it's a suffix. Does that half of awareness, could it turn him from a korban oshem tali to a korban chatas? But the whole concept of a half of awareness is an oshem tali concept. So it starts from oshem tali and works its way to chatas. And if you look in Rebbe Omer Keshem shemayvi chatos al kol achas v'achas kach mayvi oshem tali. It doesn't fit in. The words don't work well according to Rish Lakish. B'ishlam yochanan hanil tali l'oshem bechatos. Elo Rish Lakish chatos ba'oshem mebayilei kashya. It's a good kashya, but it's not one of those kashyas that you die from. We can move on. And now the Gemara says v'rami de Rabbi Yochanan de Rabbi Yochanan v'rami de Rish Lakish de Rish Lakish. The bigger problem is maybe the Rabbi Yochanan just said in our case that the idea is not mechalek, and Rish Lakish says the idea is mechalek. Now this is a big problem. The Sanya, we're talking about a person that goes into the Beis HaMikdash, right? Tumas Mikdash v'Kedashav. Now there's a major chiddush in Tumas Mikdash v'Kedashav. We know this concept. We have to repeat it nachamal and nachamal. You need a yediyah b'tchila, according to most people. What does that mean? A regular shogig, if I eat chaylev, I don't need any yediyah. I don't need to know anything. I need to find out after it's in my stomach and everything is done. I need to find out that I ate a piece of chaylev. Then I bring a korban chatos. By Beis HaMikdash, it doesn't work like that. By Beis HaMikdash, I need to know that I'm tamei. On Sunday, I know that I'm tamei. It happens to be that I forgot that I was tamei, and then I walked into the Beis HaMikdash. What if I walked into the Beis HaMikdash and somebody told me, yesterday in that bag, I just remember this story. I was in a plane and a person died right in front of me, and they put the body right next to us on the kitchen floor. And after the flight, I told this lady, I said, there was a crazy flight with a person dying. She goes, what person? I said, the guy is sitting right next to you, the aisle over. She said, oh my gosh. I said, they put his body. She says, that's what it was. I was in the kitchen, I was trying to go through, and I stepped, it was like bags, and I stepped on it. So that's the idea. There's no idea b'tchila. Somebody tells you, in the Ma'aser Shah, you could ask my wife, she was there.
She was the lady.
But she was. For 2 hours, I didn't tell her. When the doctors were performing all the CPR and everything, nothing. She goes, what's going on? Nothing. It's okay. Until she saw a priest going like this in the sky face coming. Anyways, they really brought a priest to say, tefillas on the neshama.
Well, that's right.
Fine. Akopanim, that's a typical case of a person touching a body, not knowing about it until later on. So that would be a no yediyah b'tchila. Okay? You're not chayv a korban. You only chayv when I know that I touched the body, and what's my shogig? I forgot. I know there's such a thing called Beis HaMikdash. I forgot that I'm standing in the Beis HaMikdash. I thought I'm in Bell's Beis Medrash or something. Yeah. Okay? But if a person doesn't have a yediyah b'tchila, he's not chayiv. So here's the case. The Sanya, Shnei Shvilin, 2 paths. Where are these paths in Rosh Hashanah? Because of Tumah, Rosh Hashanah, Suffolk Tumah, Rosh Hashanah. Echot Tomei v'echot Tor. One path is good, one path has a body in there somewhere. He walked in the first path and he did not go into the Beis HaMikdash, B'Sheni v'nichnas. And he walked in the second path and then he went into the Beis HaMikdash. So now what do we have? We have a yediyah vadai. I'm mitzaref my two walks. In the morning I walked on path A, and on the way back I walked on path B. I know in my head I'm 100% tamei. It doesn't matter if the bodies are A or B. I went on both of them, so regardless I am tamei. Therefore, when I go into the Beis Hamikdash, I am tamei. I'm chayev. Holach berishon v'nichnas. What if he went into the first? He went on the first path. So he's not 100% that he's tamei. V'nichnas, and he went to Beis Hamikdash. B'sheni v'nichnas chayev. Over here, there's also no big chiddush. So what if he broke it up by going to Beis Hamikdash? Great. Holach berishon v'nichnas. Here's the chiddush. He went into the Beis Hamikdash after he went on the path A, and then he went v'hizav v'shana v'taval. He did all the requirements for somebody that's tamei. He went to the mikvah. He did the hazah, everything. Over here, it's very good. It's a big chiddush, as we're going to see. Because over here, regardless, he should be tamei. At one point, he went to Beis Hamikdash b'tumah. But when he went in, he didn't really know that he was 100% tamei. I might have been tar because I went to the mikveh yesterday. When I went into the Beis Hamikdash the first time, maybe I didn't go on the second path. Maybe the body's in the second path. So right now, I'm going to Beis Hamikdash. I don't know. I need to know for sure that I'm tamei. I don't know that I'm for sure tamei. Then the next day, when I went, excuse me, he did the whole tahara. So it's 5 days later, 7 days later. He goes into the Beis Hamikdash. Again, he doesn't know if he's tamei because he was already tar from the first one. So whenever he went in, he doesn't have 100% yediyah. Yeah, collectively, at one point I was tamei and I went in, but I didn't know it. In my head, I didn't know when I'm tamei.
The fact that he did Azaz is the nafkamina? The fact that
Yeah, 100%. The fact that he's tar before the first one. Even on the tzad that he was 100% tamei because he walked in path A, but today then I did azah. Today I walk in. And could you tell me for certain that you know that I'm tamei? No. So that's it. Then I don't have a yediyah. I can't do math here. I need a yediyah. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says, point to Bezu. No, this case, it makes sense to me, partly because of the svara that we just said. However, there's another shita in Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Rabbi Shimon ben Yehuda, point to Bekulam, Mishum Rabbi Shimon. Rabbi Shimon ben Yehuda says that Rabbi Shimon holds in all cases he's potter. Now, before the Gemara even develops, has a chance to develop its proof and its kasha Rabbi Yochanan and Rish Lakish, the Gemara is really taken aback by this, and the Gemara digresses and completely goes off. And if you don't, we're still trying to prove that there's a problem with the Rabbi Yochanan and Rish Lakish. But we're going to go a little bit on a tangent here. How is it possible if a person walks at 10 o'clock in the morning on path A, 10:30 he walks on path B, and then he goes into the Beis Hamikdash? So either way, he knows for a fact that he's 100% tamei. So what's the problem? How could Reb Shimon Bar Yochai say that he's potter in such a case? He did, yes, you're right. He went at 9 o'clock on the first path. He's getting a little older. He completely forgot that he went on path A. You're right. He's 100% tamei, but his brain doesn't know it. Why? Because he forgot it. And if your brain doesn't know it, then it doesn't count. Because by the Beis Hamikdash, you need to know it in your head. And he didn't know it. So now we're going back to something similar to our sugya. Over here you have a mixas yediyah. He has a suffix. It's possible that he's tamei. Reb Shimon sovar mixas yediyah lafki yediyah damya. Reb Shimon holds that it's not considered knowing. This little piece that's possible that he's tamei is not enough. Fine. So we understand this part, this piece. But what's neged to our sugya? Omar. But we learned halach berishon v'nichnas v'hizav v'toval. He walked on the first path, and then he went through the whole proper procedure of tahara. Today he's 100% tar. Then v'halach b'sheni v'nichnas, and then he walked on the second path and he went to the Beis Hamikdash. Chayav, amai chayav.
This time he didn't go through that process.
No, right.
Why is it
No, if he went through the process this time, then he's tar when he went in. He has to be tamei when he walks in. Both times he's tamei when he walks in. I want to combine the two times together. The problem is that he went to the mikveh in between. So today, the second time that he walks in, could he promise you that he's tamei? No. What he could promise you that he was tummy at some one point, but he doesn't know when. It could be last week and it could be this week. He's chayiv. As the Gemara, am I chayiv? He doesn't know. What can we answer here? What are the two possibilities? We could answer that mixas yediyah is the yediyah. Yeah, it's a suffix yediyah, that's enough.
Second path, 2 months.
Or we can answer that you don't need a yediyah. Those are the two ways to answer it. Orange Lakish, Hamani Rabbi Shmoli. This is a shita of Rabbi Shmuel. Adas Yachid, he's on his own. This whole thing that you said that you need to know before you go to the Beis Hamikdash that you were Tamei, or you need to know there's something called the Beis Hamikdash. That only goes according to everybody else. But there is Rabbi Shmuel who holds that you don't need, and this must be going according to him that you don't need a yediyah. And Memela, since you don't need a yediyah, so even though he was tar between the two paths, now I walk in. At the end of the day, between path A and path B, the man was tummy. And he had no idea that he was tummy. He doesn't know which path he was tummy from. Rabbi Shmuel says that's okay. You don't need to know. All you need to know is that he really was tummy. In reality, this man was tummy either from A or B. Those are the two options. And he went on A and B, he went in both of them. Mela, he has to bring a carbon. He didn't know which path. Rabbi Shmuel says he doesn't need to have a yediyah. You can go according to everybody, Rabbanan, all the shitas. Kereisos suffix yediyah ki yediyah. And I'm emphasizing that is because Rabbi Shmuel is a das yachid. And the question is going to be, why did Rish Lakish pick a das yachid when he could have gone with a more prominent shita? Afilu teimir Rabbanan, Kereisos suffix yediyah ki yediyah. Now if you notice in the words, he says kan. The Gemara ignores that for a second, but what is he saying? Kan osu suffix yediyah. When it comes to Beis Hamikdash, I shouldn't say that. They made a suffix like a vadai. Since he doesn't know, today when he walked on path B and he walked into the Beis Hamikdash, he has a suffix. In his head there's a 50% chance that he walked over Tumah, and that's enough to be mechayiv him a carbon. So gedaydoch kan osu v'adin l'kol ha'torah kula. The Gemara understood, well, there's no difference to be mechayiv between Tumah and chaylev. If by a suffix Tumah you have to bring a carbon, so also by in our case of suffix chaylev, he also has to bring a carbon. How come by Rebbe he says the opposite? Over here he says that also yediyah. But in our case by Rebbe we said if a person, this case, right? Let's go back to this case. A guy ate a piece of chaylev, he had a suffix whether he ate or not. His wife told him about it, now he has a suffix. What does Rabbi Yochanan say in this case? This is nothing, ignore this. You don't bring a chatas for this. He says suffix yediyah is lafki yediyah. All of a sudden, by Beis Hamikdash, a person walks in the Beis Hamikdash and he's not sure if he's tummy or not. Says Rabbi Yochanan has to bring a carbon because suffix yediyah is a yediyah. So which one is it? It's a contradiction. So that's a kasha Rabbi Yochanan. Kasha the Rish Lakish. So it'd be kasha also on Rish Lakish. We'll see inside. Bishlam the Rabbi Yochanan, the Rabbi Yochanan kasha kan asu. Over here by the Beis Hamikdash, they said that it's as if a half yediyah is a full yediyah and he has to bring a carbon. But in the rest of the Torah b'chelev, in fact, it's not the same. My time, this is a special pasuk. It was hidden from him. He wasn't aware of it. Yediyah this, but nami safek chayiv kra. The Torah is mechayiv even. V'nela means hidden, even if it wasn't hidden, just somewhat not hidden, then he's also chayiv. It has to be known. Known is not hidden. Known is known. I know the whole thing. It's the idea of the mechayev. El Shlokish Kashya. At the Moikim Loke Rabbi Shmuel, Loikim Rabbi. Why is he saying that it goes according to Amanda Omar Das Yochid that says you don't need to have a yediyah b'tchila? Just say that it goes according to Rabbi, according to you, Rabbi Shlokish, who says in Rabbi that a half a yediyah is a yediyah. So say that in this case of a Beis Hamikdash, a person walked down the path. He walked down on one path, 50% Tomei, 50% not. Then he walked on the second path, 50% Tomei. So that's called the yediyah suffix. He probably touched Tumah, maybe not. He has a 50% chance. Not probably. It's 50-50 on each path. Rish Lakish himself holds that in this case, suffix yediyah is considered a yediyah. That's why he has to bring 2 chatas at the end. Because this yediyah of Suffolk, we turn it into a full yediyah. So then why does he say in the case of a Beis HaMikdash that it goes into the Manoma and says you don't need a yediyah at all? Say no. He has a half a yediyah and that's all you need in order to be chayav a korban. And it's better. First of all, Rabbi Shmuel's das yachid. And second of all, Taisus sticks in like a lashon that it's better to say he had a little bit of idea of saying that he didn't have any idea at all. Hakamash malon, the Rishmal nami lo boy idea betchila. So over here the Gemara says interesting. We had similar svaras the other day that in fact Rish Lakish could have answered that, and he does believe that chatzi idea is idea, and that's what's mechayiv him in the Beis HaMikdash. But he wanted to take it a step further just to tell you what Rabbi Shmuel holds. Why? Because I would think that Rabbi Shmuel doesn't hold this for whatever reason. The Gemara is going to say in a second. So he's stuck in Rabbi Shmuel as a point, as a side point. This guy is chayiv because even Rabbi Shmuel holds that you don't need a yediyah at all. And that's why if a guy walks on a path and he's not sure if he's tummy or not, he's chayiv a korban. As the Gemara, why do you have to tell us this chiddush? That's what Rabbi Shmuel holds. Hamas nisani. It's a mefurish mishnah. That's what Rabbi Shmuel holds. It's not Rabbi Shmuel oimer. V'nelam, v'nelam. It says in the pasuk twice. V'nelam shteipav l'chayiv ala helam tuma helam migdosh. Okay. What does this tell me? Since Rabbi Shmuel uses up the words v'nelam, v'nelam, so he doesn't have them anymore to teach us that you need a yediyah b'tchila. How do Chacham know you need a yediyah before you go in, different than anything else in the Torah, any other shogeg? Because it says v'nelam. Yishmael just used it up. He used it to tell me tumas migdash and tumas that he himself was tummy. So Mele doesn't know this. But so it says mefurish in the Mishnah, the Yishmael holds you don't need a yediyah b'tchila. That's basically what the Mishnah is telling us. Itzrich, Rish Lakish still had to tell us, yeah, you're right. Rabbi Shmuel doesn't have a pasuk, he used up the pasuk. But maybe he has a Lacham Sinai. Kamash Malon, the Rabbi Shmuel does not hold of the whole concept of Yediyah B'tchila. You don't need Yediyah B'tchila, that's what Rish Lakish came to tell us. Fine. Yeah?
You got 15 minutes.
15 minutes is enough to learn this an amazing sugya of Misasik, one of the biggest sugyas in Shas maybe. No, it's a massive sugya. We're zoichet to touch a little bit of it. You know, Rabbi, if somebody passes away tomorrow, he'll be able to learn in Shemayim the sugya of Misasik. Otherwise you won't be able to learn it if you never learned it before. You don't need to understand it. You don't understand it.
Anybody flying tonight on that plane?
The question is if you're learning it as a misasek. That's the question.
Zog the Mishnah. Chele v'noisa lefanov. You just tell them, the Magachir understood it. I didn't know. He understood it. Let me in here. Let me in here. I want to be in the shir of the Daf Yomi in Shemayim. Oh. You're back in this thing of killing. Fine. Chele v'noisa lefanov. A person has 2 isurim in front of him, but he thought that they're not usher at all. He thought it's a kosher food.
Kosher fat.
Who told you kosher fat?
Rashi.
Okay. Kosher, the kitzer. Because he's eating chaylev, so it's fat. Very good. Kosher fat. Chaylev v'noisa lefanov. So what happened here? He was 100% over in Isser Deiraisa, B'shoigeg, but he doesn't know which one he ate. What's that halacha, Rabbi Isai? Chayev a pater? Could you imagine that a person is mamish over Isser, but because there's another Isser next to him, he's not sure which Isser is over, there's a shita that says he's pater. His wife and his sister, and there was some sort of mistake that happened over there, and he was shoygig, and now he doesn't know even. Rashi sticks in. He doesn't know that his wife is a nida. So, because if he knew his wife is a nida, it's a different problem. Why was he with his wife a nida? There's no excuse. But he thought his wife is tar, and then some crazy thing happened.
They were all drunk.
Well, he didn't think his. He has no idea what happened. Shabbos Yom Kippurim. Now you have Shabbos and Yom Kippur. Hello, this is going around the world. What do you think? Okay. Shabbos and Yom Kippurim. Derech Agav, יש כאן גוי שרואה את זה כל יום. עכשיו קיבלתי, הלכתי על הזה שלו, הוא לומד כל מיני דברים על נוצריות וכולו וכולו. אוקיי. I hope he's not מתרגם. He even has, I'm not joking, he has on his thing, Ashiyotza, the whole thing. Shabbos Yom Kippurim. The guy made a mistake between Shabbos and Yom Kippur. So over here again we have to say that he didn't know Shabbos, he thought it's Friday. But he found out that when he was Choyta, B'Shoigeg, it was Ben Hashmoshes, in between Shabbos and Yom Kippur. Rabbi Shua says he's potter, unreal. So then Rabbi Yossi just comes in and says, on the last case of Shabbos Yom Kippur, I have to fix it up a little bit. I don't agree that it could occur ben hashmashos. Perhaps one foot is on Shabbos and one foot is on Yom Kippur, then he would be potter because I did half a malacha on Yom Kippur. I have to fix it. No, it happened smack in the middle of the day, where he has no excuses. He did it 100% either on Shabbos or 100% on Yom Kippur, or he didn't know which melacha. Yeah, he didn't know which day it was. Amazing chiddush. Until now we understood if a person has a piece of chaylev and a piece of kosher and he eats one of them, he brings Asham Talui. Says Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Yeshua that if he has a piece of chaylev and a piece of noiser and he ate one of them, he doesn't know which one, he doesn't even bring Asham Talui. So now he has no kapara really. Achatos is on 100%. Asham Talui is on if he has a piece of kosher. This guy is hanging somewhere without a carbon. Reb Shimon Shazuri if a person is picking apples from a tree, unbelievable case. He didn't intend to pick an apple from tree A, and instead he picked an apple from tree B. There's no machlokes. Shu chayav, because the end result was the same. He wanted an apple and he got an apple. He was over on Shabbos. Amazing. If he tried to pick an apple and instead he picked an orange, that's machlokes. Because Rashi says two different isurim and two different fruits. Rashi, I just said the word the what?
This is the same isur.
But he didn't have intent. He needs to have a specific intent, and that specific intent doesn't exist. His intent was to grab an apple, and he grabbed an orange. We're going to talk more about it, about how his intent has an effect here, and that's in the sugya of misasik, which we're getting into right now. Omar Rabbi Yehuda afinu eskaven likoteinim v'liket anovim v'liketeinim. You don't need Rashi. Shchoros v'liket levonos. He wanted black. Forget about teinim and anovim. He wanted a darker apple, and he took a lighter one. Levonos v'liket shchoros. Lezem chayav chatos v'bishua poiter. Omar Rabbi Shimon tmihani. I'm surprised. I'm bewildered. In poter bar Rabbi Yeshua. He wanted to do a chet. He wanted to rip an apple off the tree, and instead he ripped a grape off the tree. He wanted to be over in Israel. How could you say this guy is potter? I don't understand it. Why does it say ashachota ba? He's saying, it says in the puzzle, well, there's a good reason why. It says in the Torah, you have to be mechaven ba to that apple. And he didn't do the apple, he did the grape. No, I learned pshat different in ba. Ashachota ba, pradle misasek. So now we touched the word misasik. Let's just explain. In Daf Yomi language, we'll go quick. What's the difference between a misasik and a shoigig? Shoigig means I intend to do this melacha on Shabbos. Just I thought it's mutter. I intend to rip an apple off the tree. Just I never went to school. I forgot that it's also. I forgot. But I ripped the apple off the tree and that's what I want to do. Misasik means I didn't know it's Shabbos. Misasik means I didn't mean to rip the apple off the tree. I meant to rip an orange off the tree, not the apple. My thing was I didn't try to do that action. Or there's another way. There's a machlokes in the Gemara. We'll see. I tried to just move the apple because I thought it's already detached from the tree, and it wasn't detached. It was attached, but I didn't intend to detach it. I'm walking down the street to shul and I step on an ant. I'm misasik. I don't mean to kill it. Maybe that's different. Maybe that's mamish like, okay, but the point is that I did an action, but I didn't intend to do the malacha. Shoigig means I intended to do the malacha, just I thought it's mutter or I didn't know it's Shabbos. Very different. Tanya, Amr Rebbe Lezer, Manav Shach. So Rebbe Lezer asks a kasha. Yichelev ochal chayev. Manav Shach is over. Is the reise b'shoigig. Either a chelev, either is ochal chayev. Ish the nidach baal chayev. Yachoyse baal chayev. B'Shabbos asam alocha chayev. B'Yom Kippur asam alocha chayev. Either way, any way you slice it, he's over the reise b'shoigig. Amr Rebbe Yeshua. Hareyu oimer shechota ba. At sheyevoda loy b'mechota. He needs to know from the word ba. In order to be over, you need to know exactly the chet that he was over. If somebody was oisik in something that's mutter, and he by mistake did something that's asur, misasik demai. We have 6 minutes to do the sugya of misasik. Misasik demai. If he has 2 pieces, let's say he says Rashi, an amazing case. You heard this Rabbi say? 2 pieces of chaylev in front of him. He reached his hand out to piece number 1 Avi, and he got piece number 2. Shalom Aleichem. But it's a crazy story, because they're both in front of him, and they're both the same exact. But he wanted to go to the right, and his hand pushed him to the left. That's misasik. Because that's not the intent that he wanted to do. His action was not what he intended. He intended to the right, he went to the left. Unbelievable. But in Chaylev and Arayis, you're chayv in such a case. We have to go, no time for the svaras, it's hard to understand. But at the end of the day, Chaylev and Arayis, it's not the action, it's not the chewing that you do, it's the hana that your body has, and you had that hana, and maybe you're chayv. It seems like there is some sort of history. Chayv karbana.
Which one?
Either one. Misasik b'chalavim, if you ate Chaylev by mistake, by reaching to the right instead of the left, and Arayis also. Now, the misasik b'Shabbos patur. Here's the chiddush. Now we're talking about misasik in a malacha of Shabbos, not in chaylev and arayis. My time. What's the difference? Meleches machshavas asur Torah. The Torah says the words meleches machshavas in the Mishkan. It has to be a calculated work, calculated labor. Calculated means everything I do is exact. Asur Torah. So this is machlokes. What exactly is the case? We touched upon it, and here's machlokes Rav and Abaye. The case is mishkachas lo kegon sheniskaven lachlis atolish v'chod tachazim mechubar. He says the worst case scenario. He tried to do an action of cutting a fruit on Shabbos, but he thought it's detached. But the action of cutting, he was there, and happens to be that it was attached, and that's misasik. Abaye would say no. That he would be chayav. That would be called shoigig, because the action is he wanted to take the action. The outcome is different. That's called shoigig. When he thought that it's completely, he didn't try to cut. He tried to lift, and then the lifting caused the cutting, and that's what's mechayivim. Didmar niskaven lagbis atolosh v'chotach ezam mechuber potur. My time of the loikaven l'shum chaticha. The Gemara just repeats the words lachtich ezatolosh v'chotach ezam mechuber. Abaye omar chayav, because that's a shoigig. The loikaven l'shum chaticha. Rav omar potur. The loikaven l'chaticha di surah. Zog the Gemara. Rabbi Yossi omer lo nechlaku. Rabbi Yossi says no. It doesn't make sense to me that the machlokes was ben hashmoshes. Because what if he did half on Shabbos and half on Yom Kippur would be part? Tanya, Rabbi Yossi, you got me good. How did they beat him? What if he did Hoitzah? Hoitzah is, here's the rabbit. I go like this. How long did it take me? A fraction of a second. Let's call it a second. So it's impossible that there's a Shabbos and Yom Kippur. It was either Shabbos or Yom Kippur. So what are you telling me? It's a whole long malacha. Mela sewing, I had to do 3 things, and that takes me 5 minutes. I can go from Shabbos, but I just go like this, boom, I'm over. So in that case, I have why can't you just say it's talking about the case of Eitzah and it's yeah, Akira Nacha takes 10 seconds, a second before Shabbos can go out. Says the Gemara, but no. Oh no, the Gdakim. It takes a second. That's all it takes for Shabbos to go out, is 1 second. So in that 1 second, that's when it happened. Hachinami Kamali, you're right. They didn't beat him. You tried to mamish go into diktuk and get me. You didn't get me. Now, but what does it say here? It says basically that if a guy did akira on Shabbos and hanocha Yom Kippur, he's potter. Why would he be potter if he did half the malacha on the other day? I Here, I have a picture of Boisai. Where is it? This is, because this was missing in Shabbos. This is Erev. The thick string is called Erev. The thin one that goes up and down is Shesi. So on Shabbos, in order to be Chayev, when you start out a cloth, you have to go 1, 2, 3. Okay? Not like I explained on Shabbos, that's 3. It's 3 actions, and that grabs a cloth. But if I already have 2 in the red lines, you see the red lines? I have 2, and then I add 1 on Shabbos, I'm Chayev. What is that called? Gemar. This is the start, and then 1 string is called Gemar, and I'm Chayev. So you see that he holds that Gemar Melacha, you're Chayev on Shabbos. Even if I do 1, you're Chayev. You're right. You have to change it. It's not 1, it's 2 that makes you chayiv. So in fact, Gemar, you are potter. And that was his question. What if I finish up on Yom Kippur, I should be potter? Tanya. Tanya. Same word. Shenemar. That if a person does 2 averos, he's not even chayiv Hashem Talui because v'lo yoda, you have to do a chet and he doesn't know. And over here, he did a chet and he does know. He knows that he's over, he just doesn't know which one. What are you talking about? This pasuk is telling you this exact case. If you do a chet, we always understood Hashem Talui, you bring on something. I'm not sure if I did a chet. I'm not sure if I might have eaten shuman kosher. No, the Torah says v'asasa. You really did a chet. You just don't know which one it is. No, it's mamish beautiful. The pasuk says this case. Say Yishalov. The opposite, the case where a person eats a piece of chaylev when it could have been kosher, you go ask, go figure it out yourself. But I'm telling you, the Torah is telling me this case that a person ate 1 out of 2 isurim, that's where he's chayev. No, are you talking chayev in the case that we always thought you're 100% chayev? 1 and 1 kosher, 1 not kosher? Tashma, chata v'lo yoda b'mechata. Here it says both cases. Oy safek chata, safek lo chata. It's possible that he ate 100% kosher, maybe Hashem Tali. And mashman man shemanale the amar chata v'yidua b'may chata, maybe Hashem Tali. Who is it? Reb Shimon. Because on his safek chata, safek lo chata, maybe Hashem Tali. You see, Reb Shimon himself holds in the case of safek, you also bring Hashem Tali. In both cases, you bring shmami no sfir leile Reb Shimon safek chata, safek lo chata, maybe Hashem Tali. All right, so we did a daf. Tomorrow is a shorter daf.